Oh, okay. Hello and welcome to the Catecast, a podcast for Catholic teachers, parish leaders, and parents. I am Jacob, and with me is my wife, Alicia.
What's up?
We're here to share with you what we have been doing to pass on the Catholic faith in the classroom, at church, and at home. You're listening to episode 7. You might still be listening to episode 7 of the Catecast.
Yay, episode 7.
Why are you so weird?
I'm not weird. I'm unique.
I know.
Unique New York. I was just quoting a video that Felicity and Gabe secretly put on my phone the other day. And Gabe said, Felicity said, "Hi," and he goes, "What's up?" And I just think it's funny, so just had to imitate it. They are the apple. The apple does not fall far from
the eye,
the tree.
Oh, same thing. Okay,
so how's your week going, bro?
My week is going great. This is the 4th of July week. Today's the 5th of July. I didn't have to work for half of the 3rd, all of the 4th, all of the 5th. So that was fantastic.
All of the 6th.
It's the 6th and 7th are the weekend, but spending time with my family is the best. We've did lots of board games and spending some time outside, seeing family. And tonight we watched Bluey. This is the first time I saw the episode The Sign.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hadn't seen it before.
Did you cry?
Yes, I cried. I cry like every episode of Bluey. I think that's what it's meant to do, is make adults cry.
I didn't cry. The kids were bawling when I watched it with them, and they were like, "It's so sad." And it was sad. It was happy sad. But they were like, that was the second time they had seen it, too. So it wasn't like the first time. But they were, like, still crying. It's sad. And then Desmond at the end of it said, "Mom, don't ever sell our house." I was like, okay. And then Jacob was like, "I might sell it." I was like, Jacob.
Do a reverse mortgage, something like that.
Whatever.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means, but Bluey. Go Bluey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, It was fun. The 4th of July was fun.
Mm-hmm. It's always fun.
Yep. America.
All right, so you asked me tonight if I wanted to do a podcast with you. So obviously you have something in mind for what we're going to talk about tonight.
Well, yeah, because when I have a little bit of extra time in adoration on Friday nights, then I start thinking, what would I say in a podcast if we were to record a podcast? And here we go. So I texted you and said, "Do you want to do a podcast tonight?" And you said, "Sure."
Yeah.
Just like you did last time.
Exclamation
mark. So, yes, we're going to play a little game.
Okay.
It's going to make Jacob so uncomfortable.
I'm not going to be good at it. You're not going to be good at it either, though.
I don't care. It's okay. When you're on a microphone and people are listening to you after the fact, you don't care about it. I don't care. So, we each chose a song. We're going to sing part of the song. And
do we have to sing? Because I don't know how it sounds.
What?
I have to pick a song where... Because I know the song.
Oh my gosh.
I just haven't listened to it in a while.
Yes, you need to have a song that you can sing. You're going to make it 10 times harder on me. I mean, I guess you don't have to sing it, but that's the fun of it, is that we're going to sing into our podcast. So anyways, we each picked a song. We're going to sing a couple of the lines, and then the other person has to finish that part of the song. So, anyways. Do, 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 do.
All right, no, I got it. I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Oh, okay. Are you going to go first, or you want me to go first?
You go first so we can all understand how this game is played, because I don't quite understand yet. What's supposed to happen?
I'm going to sing part of a song, and you're going to finish the lyrics.
Do I have to sing?
Yes.
I have to sing to finish the lyrics.
Why not? Don't you usually sing when it's a song?
Aren't
you
you
don't
picking-
talk songs
aren't
like
you picking songs I don't know?
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. You don't talk songs. You gotta sing them.
Sometimes people talk songs.
Okay, here we go.
I want to choose a song that's talked.
Ready? No, that's cheating.
Okay.
Ready? Are you
Sure.
ready?
I guess so,
Okay.
yes.
Don't stop me now. I'm having.
Such a good time.
Keep going.
I'm having a ball.
Keep going.
Don't stop me now. If you want to have a good time, just give me a call.
Okay, you did a
All
pretty
right,
good
great.
job of that. That's like been my go-to summer song. Not that like I think there's probably sexual implications of that song. That's not what I mean by that, but that it's just like it's just a fun song to dance to in the car. Anyways,
Okay.
do you know
Who
the
sang
next?
it?
Yeah, do you know who sang
It was
it?
Queen.
Yeah. Do you know this part of it? I'm a rocket ship
No.
on my way to Mars
Oh.
on a collision course.
That's like the part of the song where you never understand the lyrics.
Okay, what about this? I'm a shooting star, leaping through the sky
Yeah.
like a tiger, defying laws of gravity.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, is it my turn? Or
Yes.
your turn? Okay. This one is not nearly as upbeat and fun.
great.
Sorry. Here we go. Honey, you are a rock upon which I stand, and I come here to talk. Go ahead.
I hope you understand.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know
you
the
got one
rest
line.
of the
That's
part.
good.
It's a Coldplay song.
Of course it is.
That was
Do you know what it's called?
Parachute?
No.
I don't know.
Good guess. Green eyes.
Green eyes.
Yes.
You dance too.
My favorite color of eyes.
You dance. I don't have green eyes.
I do.
Wow. That's what you danced at our wedding with. That's how do I want to word this? You danced to that song with your mom.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I thought I danced to Yellow.
I don't think so.
Okay, whatever.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Neither of us remember well, I guess.
Do you remember the song we danced to?
Yes.
What?
It was that Matt Marr song.
What's it called?
It's called,
You can tell I picked it out.
shoot.
My
Uh,
my only love.
Oh, yeah. My Only Love.
Okay,
It was right on the tip
guys.
of my tongue.
Anyways, that was fun. We'll have to do another fun game some other time. If you guys have any thoughts or any suggestions, podcast games. All right, let's get down to business. Isn't that?
Oh, we're doing
Isn't
business.
that
Okay.
song lyric too? Let's get down to business.
Yeah, but that's Mulan.
Oh, let's get down to
you
business. Yeah, that's
Good old
it.
Donny Osmond.
All right. So this past week and this past Sunday, what did we get to do?
We went to the National Eucharistic Pilgrimage, and they had a Eucharistic procession at our cathedral.
St. Joseph.
Yes, downtown Columbus.
Yeah, so this is part of the Eucharistic revival, and it was part of the St. Elizabeth Ann Seton route.
One of
that
4
is
routes, yep.
heading to Indianapolis, Indiana, where the Eucharistic Congress will take place in like 2 weeks. I think the email today said 2 weeks from now. So this route had started all the way in Connecticut, I believe, and it has traveled all the way this way. So we processed around the block of St. Joseph's. And then when we got to the back part of the block, they started a rosary the glorious mysteries, and each mystery was said in a different language, and they had like a little Marian shrine there.
So we did English, Igbo, Tagalog, Spanish, and Swahili were the 5 languages.
Yeah. So it was really cool to see. I don't know, it just reminded me how much that the church is universal, and to see like the different cultures being like uplifted in this procession for Jesus. And like they had their shrines like decorated in like special ways. So that was really cool. It was very hot out.
It was hot.
And I felt very sad for those people who had several layers on, because I did not.
And we got yelled at by one person. Did you hear that? Desmond
was literally dragging me through the crowd.
I was literally dragging the other 2 kids
I wanted to get closer to Jesus, though, so I let him drag me. So we got separated for a little bit. Desmond and I, and then you were with the other 2 kids, but tell them what happened.
Oh, somebody just drove by and yelled, "Get back inside," which is like the dumbest thing to yell.
Wow. Yeah.
I would have very much liked to get back inside because it was hot. The AC was in there. So maybe she was just worried about us.
She was very worried
how warm
about
it was.
us. Yeah, she didn't want anyone getting heat exhaustion or heat stroke or anything like that. But it was really cool, and just like reminded me of how big the church is, and made me excited for going to the Eucharistic Congress here in a couple weeks. If you didn't know, we're going as a family. And I forget what else I was going to say about it. It reminded me a lot of like when I was in high school. Like the town that I'm from is not predominantly Catholic. It's predominantly Protestant churches. And so I had never really encountered many Catholic who were my age, just the people who went to my church. And we had a chance to come to a couple events in Columbus for youth in our diocese. And I just remember like thinking like, wow, like I can't believe all of these people are Catholic and all these people are my age. And just like how amazing it was to like see so many other people who are Catholic. So I was just thinking, like recalling back to those days and how being in the Eucharistic procession and thinking about going to the Eucharistic Congress where there will be like over 50,000 Catholics there, just like makes me excited that like, wow, the church really is vibrant, and like there's so many people who love Jesus just like we do. So
that's very much the experience that I had when I went to World Youth Day. As a
Lucky.
kid, I was going into high school, so I think so. It was between my 8th grade and freshman year, and my parents decided to take me, 2 of my siblings, and then 3 of my cousins. So we were all kind of within 5-6 years of each other. Went up to Toronto in 2002 to World Youth Day there, and there was we were there for the whole week. We camped outside of Toronto, so we had a camping spot. It was in the summer, so that was easy to camp, right? Pop-up camper, a couple tents, and then we would drive into the city each day for all of the events that were going on. So go to the convention center, and there were masses and talks and confessions and exhibitions and things like that. Everybody got a backpack, which was great. So I'd still have my World Youth Day backpack, or maybe I got rid of it at some point. But
no, you still have it.
It's somewhere, and it's full of all the swag.
It's in our closet.
Oh, great! I still have it in our closet. Good. I'm glad we didn't get rid of that. But the experience I had the night before the final mass was, while the rest of my family was getting some sleep, I decided to just wander around, like the kind of the airfield that everybody was camped out in for a few hours. And I'd met, so many different, youth, kids my age, who were doing different things. I remember playing hacky sack and doing like double Dutch jump rope and watching the Polish like crowd and all of their flags run by, and it was just really cool to have that experience. And there ended up being 1 million people there on the day of the Mass with St. John Paul II, who I got to see pretty close.
St.
Like
Pope John Paul.
Whatever, however you say that name. But I was probably a good 20 feet away from him. My family got up, 5 or 6 rows of people behind the barricade where the Pope mobile would drive behind. And then people would just let me walk up to the front. Since I was, 13 years old, they just let me walk up right up front to the barricade where he drove by. And he definitely made eye contact and waved right at me as he was driving by.
That's cool.
But I'm saying that just to say that I had that same experience, just like
you're just saying it to show that like I had a better experience than you, Alicia.
I had a different experience.
I got to go to the Diocese of Columbus and see other Catholics. You got to go to World Youth Day. Okay. No, it's fine. It's good. It's good.
Yes, it is.
The Lord was probably giving you lots of graces for this marriage at that
hope
time.
So.
I don't know. Does that happen? Graces for the future or just graces for the moment?
Both.
Oh, okay. So what else is new?
With me? With what? With family?
I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, do you want to talk about the book that we've been reading and our fence?
Sure. So why don't you intro the book?
The book is the one we were recommended to read. And it's called Trustful Surrender to Divine Providence, The Secret to Peace and Happiness. That's a pretty great subtitle there. And what it is it talks about... Give the author. Oh boy, how do I read this? Father Jean-Baptiste Saint-Jure and Saint Claude de la Colombière. Is that right? Did I pronounce those right?
Yes, you did.
Of course I did. Okay. But the idea is that it talks about God's will. I mean, really, it's essentially what this book is about. God's will and how we can be, what's the right word? More, what am I trying to say?
Docile.
Yeah, more docile to God's will in our life, even when it's uncomfortable, even when bad things are happening to us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think the word you're thinking of is surrender. What is surrender?
Well, that's the second word of the title of the book. Well, yes, how we can better surrender to God's will.
Yeah.
Even, we might think, oh, God, wouldn't will for anything evil to happen, anything bad to happen. But we have to remember that there's his, like his perfect will, and then his, what do you call it? Permissive will. Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm. His permissive will. Because you got to think, like, even Jesus Christ, right, was allowed to suffer torture, humiliation, and death.
Yeah.
Like, why should I not experience anything less than that?
Yeah. And it actually says, like, all things come from God. Like, it's kind of, like, he gave the example of, like, if God allows someone to, like, come and, like, attack you, like, rob you. I'm trying to find the page, but I can't. Like, God allowed that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, he allowed that to happen for some reason.
Right. And by God allowing something, that is saying that it is included in part of his will.
You're right.
If it was not in his will, it literally could not happen.
Right. Yeah. So it's just like trying to get you to like be in that lens of like, okay, this is God's will. What should I do with it?
Yeah.
And so like, it's kind of ironic that we were like recommended to read this because I had just started like a new prayer journal and it was just one that I happened to buy from Be a Heart, and it came in like a pack of 2, but the front of it has like pretty flowers and it says, "Oh Jesus, I surrender myself to you. Take care of everything." Which
it sums it up.
That's that's like exactly what this this book is all about, like surrendering. And that has been like something that I've been praying about in my prayer. But I think I've read more of this book than you have. So I'm going to give some of my take on some of the things that I read. But the one that I read today was all about like trust. So this part is called like practice of conformity to God, trustful surrender. And so he's giving like, we have to surrender in this situation. We have to surrender when family life is difficult. We have to surrender in poverty and hardships. And the sixth one, he said, like, we have to surrender in adversity and disgrace. And so he was talking about how, like, you know, we have to conform to God's will in adversity as well as in prosperity, whether it's in humiliation or in honor, in disgrace or respect. We have to surrender to that. And he gave the example of David, when David left Jerusalem to escape his son Absalom, and the Ark of the Covenant was carried like after him by the high priest to kind of like safeguard David. And David actually told the high priest to like take the ark back because God would see his return if he so willed it, if he so wished it. And so like just the idea that like David was willing to like accept whatever God's will was for his life, like whatever circumstance, Lord, that you are going to give to me, like we have to be in a disposition of like God will take care of it all, and kind of refuse to be like like refuse to like be like weary of it or not being willing to resign to that. And it just like the last line that really stuck out to me was like, God himself will accomplish it in us, providing we do not oppose resistance to his grace. So this idea that like God's will is there, but like we can oppose it. Certainly we can resist his will. But that also means that like we're missing out on the graces that he's giving us, and that whatever that circumstance is, whether it's a trial or not. So yeah, this is just a good reflection today of that, and kind of draws back to some circumstances that have happened to us recently in our own life. On Tuesday afternoon, we noticed someone had... Ooh, sorry, I'm playing with a chip clip. Someone had taken planks of our privacy fence that's in the back of our property.
Well, it's not even our privacy fence.
Right. I was going to get to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'd ripped some out, like taken like 3 or 4 of them completely off.
Had thrown a lot more than 3 or 4.
Well, full ones. And then it had broken. I mean the full ones that they had ripped out.
Yeah,
okay.
I know what you mean. I think it was more than that.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. That's not the important thing. They destroyed the fence, essentially, is what I'm getting at. They had thrown some of the pieces into our yard and whatever. So that was like, oh, that's so frustrating. And it was right by Felicity's garden that she had made of dahlias that she got from my cousin. And so, thankfully, none of the dahlias were destroyed. But then on Wednesday morning, I woke up and was
like 3:45,
like 3:30 in the morning, and couldn't fall back asleep. So I went and checked on everyone and looked out the window in the backyard and noticed, like, is the fence missing? And sure enough, like 2 whole sections of the fence had been like knocked down. Like someone had taken and like with all their force and might kicked down even the post that's into the concrete, into the ground, and broken the post, and the fence was falling down
into our yard.
And onto the dahlias. Thankfully, the one part, like, just by inches missed the dahlias. Anyway, so in all of this, I was, like, so annoyed and, like, why would someone do that? But then, like, I got to thinking, like, okay, this is part of God's will. Like, how can I accept that this is part of God's will? Like, he's going to give me the grace. He's going to give us the grace to get through it. Because it's just like, oh, it's the 4th of July. Now we have to deal with this and figure out who we have to contact to get this fixed. And, like,
and probably no one's going to answer their phone because it's the 4th of July.
Yeah, and why were people, like, at the back of our property in the middle of the night? Like, it's just, like, a lot of things. But, like, I just kind of stopped myself and, like, okay, this is, like, what we've been trying to practice is this surrender. And how do we accept that, like, oh, this crummy thing happened, but this is yet still what God willed to happen. So the idea of, like, learning the habit of thought, that your thought has to be, like, aligned to the lens of God. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Am I saying that right?
I think so.
So, like, thinking how God thinks.
Yes.
And that is a habit that we have to learn and build up. We can't just, like, expect it to happen magically, but we actually have to practice. And just like any habit, like brushing our teeth in the morning or waking up when our alarm goes off or going to the gym to work out, like all of those things have to be practiced, just like having the same thought or the thoughts of Christ.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Any other thoughts on your part about surrender?
It's hard to do. It's hard to think of. Like, that's not something I thought of at all about the fence. I was just angry and annoyed by it. So I'm glad that you, having read more of the book, and being more, probably
keep going. Just kidding.
Probably having a better eye for those things anyway, what God is doing. Yeah, I feel like you've got that habit more built up. So it's a good example and a reminder for me. It pushes me that way too. So good on you.
Go team. Yes. So what else is new with you?
With me?
Yeah,
No,
I thought you had a
not
couple
much.
other things to talk about.
Not tonight. Sorry.
That's
Am I
okay.
disappointing you?
Nope.
Okay. I think there'll be things. I mean, there's a couple of things swirling around in my mind. Like, just finished the first pillar in the Catechism, listening to Catechism in a year again. So I listened to it all last year, and then for the 2 years previous to that, I listened to follow along with Prayed with Bible in a Year, the Bible in a Year podcast. But I don't have like really good put together concrete thoughts about Pillar 1 of the Catechism yet. It's on the Apostles' Creed. Other than that, it's great. And then I talked last time about the theologian Stratford Caldecott and a lot of his writings that I'd begun to discover through our Notre Dame course on the Eucharist in Catholic schools. And I have checked out as much as I possibly can through the public library of his writings. So I've just like started reading some more of his stuff, and reading some things about about Catholic social teaching. I'm starting to read some things about education, but just a couple chapters so far. So I don't have really good formed thoughts yet about all of that, but maybe soon to come.
I'll be sitting on the edge of my seat waiting.
I'm sure you will.
Good. We've got a baptism coming up this weekend.
We are going to be godparents again. So excited for that.
That's exciting. And yeah, just living the dream. 2 weeks from now, we'll be in Indy. Ooh, we should take the podcast on the road.
Oh, we could slide into one of those live recording times.
No, I was thinking more like record it at our Airbnb when we get back.
Okay, that sounds good.
And be like, live from the Eucharistic Congress.
Oh boy, yes. live from an Airbnb.
And we're going to interview Father Mike Schmitz. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Oh, man. That'd be great. Long shot on that one. Long shot on that one.
I've been emailing him, so.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I'm just kidding. I haven't. I had a desire to, but I chickened out and didn't do it, so.
That's a bummer.
Oh, well.
All right. Anything else for tonight?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, then we hope that you enjoyed listening today and found some of what we are up to helpful for you. Please subscribe to the podcast and check out our posts at thecatecast.com. You can comment on any episode or post there and let us know what you are interested in hearing about in the future. God bless you, and we will see you next time on the Catecast.